Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you and I got a chance to commentary together in 2019, but you're gonna be sick of me by the end of this night because we're gonna be talking a lot to each other.
That's fine. I have been very busy as of late, so yeah, I haven't had much opportunity to do some commentary, but got around tonight, and it looks like they're off.
Let's do a quick background on each runner just to kind of calibrate everybody real quick. Both runners excellent at rando. If you look at their traditional speedrunning experience, Sloaters is probably the strongest runner of the traditional speedruns that we have in the entire league. He's very well versed in multiple categories, has excellent times, and cross product is very good as well, but also kind of I would give the edge to him in terms of he has a lot of experience doing a lot of crazy tech that other people don't normally do.
Yeah, cross product likes to do the randos. Yep.
Yeah. So if he does any kind of if any kind of weird situations come up, Cross could utilize some of his knowledge. But yeah, both runners are great. As Sir mentioned, this is the quarterfinal matchup. The winner of this match will be facing me actually in the semis. That's part of the reason I wanted to do this because I wanted to scout the opponent. So.
Always the best reason.
Of course. But no, for real, I'm very excited. Both these guys are good friends, and it's always fun to watch them randomize.
Yeah, and so far, Morph Ball and some Power Bombs. That's actually a really, really nice pickup there. One of the more annoying items that can be like hidden a lot later are those Power Bombs. So.
Yeah, that's right. And just so everybody is aware, the first game here, this is a best of 3 series. And each of the 3 games will be different if it goes to 3. Number 1, the first match here is major minor split. So it's kind of the more traditional, kind of what you would be used to if you've done a lot of randomizers. The second game will use a logic called the Chozo logic, which has all the major items and then enough of the minor items to complete the game. At the Chozo statues. If we go to game 3, we will go to a boss randomizer where the bosses will be randomized, but the split will be either major, minor, Chozo, or full, depending on what the runners veto. So if we get to that, if this goes to a game 3, then we'll discuss it. Otherwise, we're definitely getting a major, minor, and a Chozo.
Yeah, that's I think that's going to make this match all the more interesting. And we saw there a really nice movement item in Spring Ball. Cross product already making use of it right there. That was in place of the energy tank there. So both runners choosing to pick up that minor item over to the left. And they're going to find, looks like Sloaters is going to find out what's underneath Old Mother Brain as well. Nice super missiles.
Yeah, got to feel good about finding supers down there. Anytime you're able to get to the climb with at least one regular missile, at least one super, and at least one power bomb, that means you're not going to get some kind of weird situation on the way down to Big Pink. So they've got everything they need to progress. At this point, they can pick and choose what they want to stop for.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually a really, really nice early game setup. They can pretty much do anything. I think one thing we're not going to see, though, is the gauntlet. I think they're going to avoid that. Nothing usually very interesting in there, even though there is the major at the statue.
Yeah, I'm not a, there's a lot of different ways to play these randomizers. As we see Ice Beam here at the bombs location. Really cool item. That's actually great to find early because in advance you can get through Maridia. But anyway, I'm not a big fan of going to Gauntlet. Usually, even if it is a good item, sometimes it might not even be worth the amount of time you invest to go up there, but occasionally you will run into a seed where that's the progression item.
Yep.
And if that's the case, then if you skip it early, you're kind of in rough shape.
Yeah, it's rare that you'll get that, though, but I think both of these runners will opt to skip it. Now, one thing that is interesting here is we do have that Ice Beam, that Spring Ball. So, maybe there's a Grapple Beam and some high jump boots in the future with just a bit of a suitless Maridia.
Yeah, I think the chances of a suitless seed, for the record, let's clear something up. Suitless was not allowed. It wasn't in the logic at all during the regular season. but it has been added for the playoffs. I think there was like a 3 or 5% chance or something that a seed could feature suitless Maridia, and we had our very first one recently of the playoffs. We've only had one, and it happened to be the major minor split that I had with game 1 with Rasu in the quarterfinals. So, it'd be fun to see, but at the same time, it's not always what you want as a runner.
Oh, it's never what I want as a runner. Interesting there, cross product, checking the minors there at the back of Gauntlet, and there's an X-ray scope in early supers. Shows a statue room there.
Oh, apparently I've been corrected. Apparently it was in there for major minor. I didn't see a single person get one. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But either way, Chozo is now allowed to have a suitless Maridia. The only location it can show up, though, is Dragon item, the spaceship.
Yeah. All right, Sloater's picking that up. That's interesting. No charge beam and no plasma. So we're not going to be seeing microwave beam, at least not yet anyway.
Yeah, that's always a point of contention. If you see X-ray early and it's the first of the microwave items that you get, it's always a question about whether or not you want to pick it up. I think it's probably worth getting if you're comfortable with it, though, because if you do happen to get the items, X-ray can really be helpful in Maridia later on.
Yeah. I always find my luck. I find the X-ray first, pick it up, and then go, ooh, I'll get microwave, and then I'll get microwave after I've beaten the last boss that could be microwaved.
Right. Of course, that's how it always is. Sloater's making a little bit of an interesting call here. I actually personally like this call. You can argue it either way. People have different philosophies, but he's using a super missile and doing 2 door transitions to pick up this minor item. The number of minor items you pick up is kind of up to you. You do have to invest time to pick them up because it costs not only the fanfare, but door transitions and other things. But at the same time, it does allow you to be a little bit more free later on in the run if you don't run into charge beam early. So I've seen a lot of people run into problems by not picking up very many miners early and then not getting charged till way later. So it just kind of depends. It's a risk reward kind of situation.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad choice with the amount of ammunition they have right now. 25 missiles, not terrible. Not a terrible place to be, right? It's just enough before you're kind of on that cusp of like, do I invest the time to go or, right? Usually when I see supers, I almost always pick them up. But
yeah, you're right. Supers almost never lose their value.
Yeah. Until you have about 30 of them and charge beam, then supers you just always pick them up.
Sloater's getting this wave gate on the first try. That's actually, it's not the hardest trick in the entire world, but it's definitely not something that's free. And if you don't have enough supers when you go in there, it can get a little frustrating. But he had plenty, got it first try, no sweat, was rewarded with a reserve tank, which is, admittedly not the item that you typically want. But I actually think reserves aren't bad. I like having at least one because there are some cool things you can do with it that you can't with a normal energy tank. But most people don't like them mainly because you don't get a refill when you pick them up. And that's understandable.
Yeah. I tend to skip them personally, unless I feel like there are very, very few energy tanks laying around. So if it's real early, I'll pick them up. But once I have like 5 or 6 energy tanks, I'll tend to skip them. There's that grappling beam that I was talking about earlier.
So we've already got ice and grapple, huh?
We do. Yeah, we're 1 high jump boot away.
Sir, I don't know if I've ever asked you. I think, is it Spring Ball? Is Spring Ball your favorite item?
Yeah, Spring Ball is absolutely my favorite item.
Yeah, Spring Ball is great. It's also part of the kit for Suitless, and they have that already as well. High jump boots is my favorite item, so I think what would be really interesting would be if they were to find high jump boots. Not like right away, but at some point in the near future, if they would consider automatically doing Suitless, just because you have the item set does not mean that the seed is trying to make you do it.
Yeah.
You can find gravity elsewhere, but if you were to take that risk early and actually that be what it was, you could save a ton of time from looking at some of the slower checks along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, here's Sloaters going in for this X-ray check here. Has the grapple beam here, so basically a free check. I do like this. I think this is Spazer Beam. Oh, all right. Well, decides he wants it.
Spazer is a good item. Obviously, it loses its value if you already have the plasma beam. But at the same time, you're not guaranteed to get the plasma beam. And even if you don't have charge, Spacer can legitimately make a lot of sections of regular Norfair better. I think Cross has forgotten that he has the grapple beam.
Yeah, gonna do the spring ball jump here. Really, really interesting.
If Cross lands on these spikes more than once, he's gonna die.
Yeah, 65 energy. Okay, realized he had. Uh-oh.
He must just have forgotten completely that he has the grapple beam.
Okay, I think he's got the spring ball jump here. It's gonna be no.
That's very unfortunate.
Oh no. Oh no, Cross is not saved. So this is back to the beginning.
No, and that's even worse to see. I mean, this isn't a criticism of him. This could happen to anybody, but it's bad to die. There's been a lot of people that have died on the way to X-ray. But at the same time, it's really, really bad to die when you have, when you don't remember that you have an item that can make it a lot easier. So that was not something he's going to be happy about.
Yeah, there is a screw attack for Sloaters up at Spazer Beam. Really, really, really nice item that just makes so much of the later parts of the game easier. Or so, yeah, well, whatever, that sentence. Sloaters coming into the warehouse here. Looks like he's going to do Kraid before he goes anywhere into Norfair. I think this is very reasonable. There's at least 2 majors here, plus Kraid. So,
yeah, we've got the Kraid item, the various suit, and then we've got the energy tank afterwards. Which one thing I love about that energy tank location, I usually pick up that item even when we're not in major minor. Just because there's those bugs in there that give you the power bomb refill.
Power bombs, yeah.
So it's a great room.
Yeah, I think that's but even just that alone is almost worth going into that room because it's not like out of your way. And if you're low on power bombs, which when you have one power bomb pack and no regular bombs, you're almost always low on power bombs.
That's right.
You want to go in there.
For sure. And, even in Chozo where that's a minor item, picking up a minor item in addition to getting a free refill on power bombs, only for 1 door transition, pretty good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And if it's something like another power bomb pack or whatever, that's always really nice. Because having 10 to 15 power bombs really where you want to be in these randomizers. Alright, Cross. Interesting here, not picking up any of the missile miners that were down here that he picked up earlier.
Yeah, he knows that supers are at this Mother Brain location. That's probably what he's banking on. Let's see what Sloaters gets here in the E-Tank room. Just an E-Tank.
Alright, and there are those power bombs that we talked about. Off the B-Towns. Those little frog guys. They're little frog guys. Yeah, Cross definitely knows that he's in the hole there after that death. So I think it's just going to pick up the items that he thinks he absolutely needs at this point in time.
Yeah, for sure. The only way, Cross is a great player, but the only way that you're going to be able to make up an amount of time like that is if either A, you get some kind of extremely troll item locations for some of these things and he takes a huge risk.
Yeah.
Like Barry at Shack Tool or something. Or if Sloaters takes a death, which, anything can happen to anybody, but don't really, I don't anticipate that happening. Sloaters doesn't usually put himself in trouble. Oh, there's that gravity suit.
Yeah, ooh boy, that's interesting. And this is also interesting here. Cross product going over to the 230 missiles. Notice here that Sloater's still taking heat damage. The gravity suit has been modified in the randomizer here, so it does not provide heat protection or environment damage protection like from spikes that the Varia suit would normally give. So you need both suits, unless you want to do some suitless stuff.
Yeah, and this is something that most people know, but I'll mention it anyway. But most people, if they have the ability to, in terms of their current health when they get there, will check that ice beam location first. Mainly because they'll take that heat damage, and then, you know, if you get an energy tank down here, then you basically, you know, negate all that. You don't have to farm it back up. So
Yep.
we see that happening right here.
That free refill. Plus, sometimes you get real lucky, and there's Varia suit up there, and then heat damage doesn't matter, and you can go through the rest of Norfair. Okay, cross product. Is he gonna go through Gauntlet or the ship? Or yeah, the wreck ship. With a CWJ. Actually, no. If you picked up the spring ball, he can use either CWJ or spring ball to get across the moat.
You can. I will say though, however, this is still pretty questionable decision. I mean, I trust Cross, but if he's legitimately trying to go over here, which maybe he's not, I don't know what he's doing, but trying to fight Fantoon with only 99 energy is
really risky.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, really, really risky. Okay, Sloater's going. Maybe Cross wants to skip all of Brinstar, kind of that big pink area, and just go right to Red Tower. So Cross did not see that Spazer was in X-Ray, so that is something that it could be still a question in his mind.
Meanwhile, Sloater's picking up the wave beam action.
Yeah, that's always a nice beam to find. Just the extra damage output it gives.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people don't know if they don't, you know, speedrun the game. Wave is actually the second strongest beam in the game in terms of pure damage, so it definitely adds a nice upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus all the other weird things it does with going through walls and enemies and things like that. Interesting. Sloater's using the grapple beam here as opposed to gravity jump. Oh, okay. There's the gravity jump.
Little low percent ice strats there. Love to see it. Gonna use a nice tight wall jump here as well. It's gonna be a delayed one.
Yeah, these wall jumps are pretty hard. Sloater's making it look easy there. Cross product picking up that screw attack. This music that is going on here.
Yeah, I think this is a new pack, if you will. He normally has custom music in his runs, but I think this one's different. Usually I hear some Wizards and Warriors in the item rooms, but not this time.
Yeah. Oh, did Sloater's killed the Metroid, so has to go out and back in. There, so you can get that ice clip.
Yeah, screw attack will do that to you sometimes accidentally.
Yeah. Gonna have to wait for it to unfreeze here. That setup looks real good. Yeah, nicely done there. Meanwhile, cross product in here, in the warehouse over here for Kraid.
Beautiful, beautiful bot wound by Sloaters in low percent fashion there. Gotta love it. This is where, you know, being well versed in multiple categories doesn't necessarily, you know, mean that you're going to play well, but it does mean that you have a lot of experience in the belt for different situations, and Sloater's relying on that here.
Yeah, that's very, very true, because you understand, with Randomizer, you never know what equipment you have when you come into a certain room, and, you know, either playing a lot of Randomizer or playing a lot of the various categories is going to, you know, give you that kind of, oh yeah, I'm in this room, I'm at Bot Wound, and I only have, you know, super missiles, and I only have 15 of them, and what do I do?
Exactly.
You know, is that enough? You know, things like that. Here in the Coliseum, you know, how do I get across that room? Because I don't have half of the movement items that I'm used to get across that room, you know?
You're right. And I mean, the little things add up. As you know, I mean, everybody who plays this game knows the little things add up over time for sure. We're also going to get a low, well, I take that back. We're not going to get a true low percent. Dragon, we won't have the speed booster, but he does have grapple, so I would assume that Sloaters will likely just try to wait until he gets a goof phase, and we'll try to grapple kill Dragon.
I think with his equipment, that's going to be the fastest way. Can pump a couple of supers in, and then yeah.
He's got to hold L though, because if he tries to do a spin jump of any kind,
yeah,
he will. You're right. The screw attack will kill the goop, but he's got it very nicely.
Yeah, that was really well done there. You're right with the screw attack messing that up. I do that all the time.
All right, sir. I got some strategic questions for you. You ready?
Oh, I'll try my best.
All right, if you're in Sloater's position,
yeah,
you're in, you know, you're deep into Maridia. You've got grapple beam, but you don't have, you know, the only other movement item you have is spring ball.
Yep.
Do you go ahead and try to full clear Maridia and find some other items, or do you just kind of say, okay, I'm only going to come back here later if I don't find what I need, like at Wreck Ship or something? So, like, what are you thinking you would do here?
So I think I go in between. I think I check some of the quote-unquote easier stuff. On my way out, I can check plasma beam. Right, I have screw attack, so I can get out of that room. And then you can check the sand pit, right? And that'll be on your way out. And you don't spend you spend some time, but you're not spending all of the time to get up into the pants room and spring ball, with waiting for Shack Tool, etc., etc.
Makes sense.
It's worth it. You don't have that much. You're still looking for a good amount of stuff. The other option is he could just go down here in the sand pit and just check the sand pit, and then be on his way out. And he just wants to wholesale skip plasma beam, which it looks like you might want to do. I definitely don't go to Shack Tool.
Dude, I love Cross's music every time, man. It's so good.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, so it looks like Sloaters is going to go just checking that's the sand pit there. No plasma beam. Which I think is...
Oh, baby.
Also good. Yeah, see, this is the kind of stuff that is just like, I'll make that one quick check. Oh, yeah. When you see that, you're really happy.
That's good right there. Charge Beam is an extremely powerful item in Randomizer. Definitely capable, especially if you get it early on, capable of saving you a lot of time checking things. But hey, look at Sloaters here.
Oh boy.
Looks like we are going to get the Shack Tool check. Listen, oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say this is not one that I called, but it's certainly interesting. And you notice there with that Charge Beam, he does have the full Spacer Ice Wave combo.
So. He does. Looks like he's going to attempt to do the Ice Clip. Let me explain why I think Sloaters is doing this, okay? And I can't speak for the man. But at the same time, this is going to take a long time to try to explain. This randomizer we're using is a Varia randomizer. That's the site we get it from. It has this thing called seed speeds. And the way they're used in the league is variable, so different items get different rolls by the RNG or whatever that decides how fast or slow it wants you to move. And so Sloaters and I have talked about this before. This randomizer puts important items in awful places way more than it would if it like actually, you know, like kind of actually randomize things. So I think Sloaters is looking at his item set and saying, okay, it gave me gravity early, it gave me grapple beam, all these other things. I'm gonna go check to see whether or not this seed is purposefully trying to troll me or not. Now, whether or not that's accurate or not, that I'm almost 100% sure that that's the logic behind his decision making.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
Let's put it this way: if we didn't know what we know about the Varia randomizer, you would not see people making this check nearly as often as they would in this particular.
Oh yeah.
So in this case, he was not rewarded. It was just an E-Tank. Looks like we got cross-checking Mama Turtle.
And that, if we remember, is the wave beam.
Can Cross even check this?
He could check it, but I don't know if he can collect it. Maybe the spring ball jump. Because you can check it by wall jumping off to the side, and you'll be able to see what the item is. But I don't know if Cross will be able to collect it, because I don't think you can jump over there. Wave beam kind of wants that, but does not have the grapple beam from its spot earlier. Okay, so it looks like Sloaters is just going for the full clear, because here's that plasma. All right, Cross going to try the spring ball jump. Nice!
Let's go, baby.
That's impressive. That is a combination I did not think of.
I need to quit asking if Cross can do things. every time I'm like, can he do that? He always finds a way.
Sloaters very not rewarded for this plasma check, as there is just a reserve tank in there.
Yeah, and at this point, I believe he's checked every major item in Maridia, only to come up with, I think Wave Beam was the only real, or Wave and Charge, excuse me. Wave and Charge were the two items, but no progression items per se. So I guess he'll pack up his equipment and head over to Rex Ship, maybe?
Yeah, and this is interesting because aside from the Dragon kill, Cross isn't too terribly far behind here. If Cross skips over a lot of these places, which I think he will, then, you know, we're talking maybe a couple of minutes behind.
Well, we've got Sloaters doing Forgotten Highway. And then on top of that, see, the funny thing is Cross is in a position where he knows he's way behind and probably will take risks.
Yep.
So it'd be funny for him to be like, well, Sloaters is unlikely to check Shack Tool and Plasma, so I'll check those and hope that it's something good. When in reality, if he made the normal quote-unquote play, he'd actually be saving a ton of time.
Yeah, I really hope that's not his logic. I hope he's just like, these are really, really long, and I'm not checking them regardless of whether Sloaters checked them or not.
Sloaters doing Forgotten Highway here. Bit surprised by that, but
oh, interesting there.
He's doing it.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Cross opened up the save wall there, or the save door.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna save and check Sandpit, and then if it's not anything, he's gonna reset and then go to Botwin, maybe.
Yeah, but it's charged, and we know that. So
he just did the snail clip, which is some excellent tech that I believe, unless I'm mistaken, kind of got popularized in SMZ3.
Yeah.
I don't really recall many people doing that in just regular SM randomizer before SMZ3.
No, I think you've got it right there. SMZ3 kind of, because you usually can't get up there in SMZ3. You definitely don't have the items half the time that you're in this room. And so it's just an easy trick to learn, and requires some setup, excuse me, but it's pretty straightforward to do. And once you get it, boom. Two free items up there, especially with the Zelda crossover items. You never know what's on those things.
Cross needs to be very careful here.
Yeah. Ammo's kind of low, his health's kind of low. Bot Wound can just do a ton of damage to you when it wants to. Making good use of Screw Attack and the safety corner here, though.
Okay, we're good. And Sloater should be wrapping up Phantoon right here. Very nicely done.
Yeah, I do like that Cross has gone up to Dragon, as opposed to doing that sandpit check where we thought he might go with opening up that door.
So now we're going to find out whether or not Varia is going to be in the wrecked ship. And if it's not, then I suppose it's going to be a hell run situation. Although I suppose there could be Speed Booster in here and then Varia at Waterway, technically.
Or
I guess that's technically not.
Yeah, it could be. It could also be at the Speed Booster item up in here. And Speed Booster could be somewhere else.
That is true. You're right. I'm personally rooting for Varia at Wreck Ship Reserve, Speed Booster at Waterway.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I don't. Yeah, that's not in logic. But like, yeah, if it is at Wreck Ship Reserve, that means Sloaters has to come back. And if Cross Product makes the same play, which is pretty likely, that means they both have to come back. That's really awful.
The only way I can see Cross really getting back in this legitimately would be if Varia, if like Wreck Ship just really was empty, didn't have anything super great,
yeah.
And if he made the choice to just go to Norfair and Hell Run, and then immediately found Varia, and then basically just killed Phantoon and didn't do anything in Wreck Ship.
Yeah.
But Sloater's already finding Plasma Beam and bombs. We'll see if there's anything good at the bowling locations.
Yeah, the one thing there is the beam. Again, that beam combination that Sloaters has right now, it's just so fast. And
that's right.
I don't know if Cross Products is able to make up the time. It's going to be in skipping things like that, and that will end up costing Cross Product more time as well. So
yeah, you never say never, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you're in the hole. What do you do? How do you? It's a nice Dragon fight though. No Speed Booster and no Grapple Beam here, so.
Yeah, he's having to do this because he skipped the pink location. He didn't do green Brinstar and pink, so didn't get some of those items he had to begin with.
Well, I think if you look at it from Cross's perspective, right? What did he pick up there? Grapple Beam? He picked up X-Ray Scope? Those are not very exciting, right? Like, those are skippable items.
Oh, I agree with you. He's banking on, if I were him, I would have made the same call. I think it's a smart decision. He's just kind of banking on hoping that they weren't necessary.
Yeah, he skipped X-Ray again. Didn't go back there. We know it's Spazer. So, we know he can go get Plasma pretty easily. Whether he will or not is a question. But the big thing here that I think Cross is just simply going to miss out on is that Charge Beam, because I don't think Cross is going to be checking too much more in Maridia.
Did you happen to see what was at Wreck Ship Reserve? Because I didn't, and go ahead.
It was an energy tank.
Okay, because I was going to say, had it been something that he needed to get, even if Speed Booster were at the gravity location here, Sloaters, has only the gravity suit. He took 60 damage each from those spike hits. He's really low on health.
Yeah, very low. He does have some left in reserve there, as you can see the auto lit up. So I don't know exactly how much, but that is something. So, and
Well,
there's that.
there's our speed booster.
Yeah, there's that speed booster. So even if there was something that he had to collect there, speed booster at the gravity location would make it really, really simple and straightforward to go back and collect it. So here's cross product going to make its way out of Maridia, I think, right now. I don't think we're going to be seeing cross product check anything. Maybe that sand pit, maybe. But I think cross product is actually going to go out. Now, with that, their Sloaters still does not have the Varia suit. So if cross product does make that play into Norfair that you talked about, Varia suits in Upper Norfair.
That, or it's at the waterway. I think technically that's still possible.
That is, yeah, with speed booster there, it is possible that it's at waterway. But if it's somewhere in Upper Norfair, like if it's behind Ranomizer or something like that, that bodes really well for cross product if cross product makes its way out of Maridia here and into Norfair.
You're right. Cross basically, he doesn't know this, but he needs for waterway to be empty. He needs for Sloaters to go check it, and for him to go straight to Norfair and hopefully find the Varia, and then continue from there and basically not check anything in Rex ship. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. And here we go.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of sad for cross product because we know that plasma beam is just right there in the Rex ship, and he's not ever going to check it. So here, cross product will find the charge beam, and so we'll hope that he leaves Maridia, picks this up, and just leaves. Oh boy! Wow!
All right, I don't get that one.
I don't know, but here Sloater's making that waterway check, so we're gonna find out if Varia is over here.
He probably reset because he just didn't want that missile. I'm just kidding. I don't have an answer. Oh boy.
Oh,
that's gonna be the GG right there.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, no, I don't understand why cross product reset to go into the other sand pit. I mean, power bombs are nice, but there's only 2 minor items here and double power bombs. All right. So with that, we see Sloaters crossing over the new bridge here. Cross product. Oh boy. Oh boy. Just going over into, looks like going into Shack Tool. Going to be doing an ice clip. Yeah. Meanwhile, Sloater's just making the beeline straight over for Norfair. Sloater has literally everything. There isn't. The only thing Sloaters could want at this point in time is that high jump boots. But yeah, cross product has gravity suit off here.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that.
I think it was to do a gravity jump up and into this room. Now, okay, has killed the Puyo, so it's gonna have to leave. Oh wait, what? Is that something you can do? Is there a power bomb clip that you can do that?
Yeah, I think at this point, Cross is just showing off all his crazy tech.
I'm down to see this. Here's Sloaters coming into the entryway to Upper Norfair.
Yeah, and he doesn't have high jump boots or space jump. And so, in terms of movement items, only having speed is never the most fun thing to have just by itself.
Yeah.
But he's got, charge beam and the full beam combination, so he can play it as safe as he wants in all of the rooms.
Yeah, the gravity jump here is probably the safest thing. Yeah, doesn't take a lot of damage off of that gravity jump, so even without the high jump boots, where you do have to do a couple of extra wall jumps there, we saw, those are pretty much required. But you still take like maybe 60 damage.
Cross changed his mind on charge beam, I guess.
I think it's always a worthwhile pickup. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. When Cross reset there, charge beam, I lost any and all strategy he might have had to try and come back and win this game. All right, going to go back across to... Nope. Gonna go up to, looks like Plasma. Going up the toilet there.
Looks like Slutter's just trying to do the wall jump here, which can be done. Very, very tight. I don't know what the frame perfect, pixel perfect, whatever people call it. I'm sure somebody in chat can explain it, but it's hard. Let's just put it.
I do believe it is pixel perfect there. It's ridiculously hard. Takes me like 20 minutes every time I even attempt to do it.
Looks like he decided to give up on it and do the spring ball jump, which is the reasonable thing, I think, to do there.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is the other option there, is doing that spring ball jump off the wall.
Sloaters needs to be careful here. He's got screw attack and all that, so this should be fairly easy, but he's low on that. Dude, please.
Yeah, 81 is not a lot with suits. Gonna be looking for a health refill here.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm at a loss right now.
Yeah, gonna be looking for a health refill here, and is rewarded with high jump boots.
This might be the only time in the history of Super Metroid where you would not want to find high jump boots. Oh my god. Now he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, the fire fleas, they're actually rewarding Sloaters with a large energy.
Like, he should be fine, because he can just, like, literally spin jump into everything. But at the same time, like, sometimes if you're just not playing crisp, you can make a mistake. Yeah. He should be fine, but he needs to be careful.
Yeah, we'll most likely see Sloaters do some farming in the Norfair farm room. Yeah. These Deskiga here can really be nasty, so good on Sloaters for just screw attacking straight through them.
He's a little gun shy on the Kago here because he's low on health, which is understandable. He has speed booster, so he can still do the speed booster kills here. Oh, he's got the charge beam too, but I forgot about this.
Yeah, I would be shy on those Kagos as well.
Right, of course.
The Metal Pirates there rewarding Sloaters with a good amount of energy. I still think we're going to see Sloaters do some farming here in this Norfair farm room.
Okay, and now the real advantage of having the grapple beam in this game and Rando makes farming before Ridley way, way, way faster.
Oh, infinitely faster. And he's done. He's ready to go. 171 energy, 24 super missiles. Sloater says, "Gimme."
He should be fine. The only thing about this that I find a little unnerving is his movement is different. Well, I take that back. He just picked up high jump boots, so yeah, he should be comfortable. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Cross, I think, has for sure given up. Has killed the Sephi Punkfish.
Sloaters. Okay. Thank you.
Come on, Slaughter. There you go. Wondering if he was going to decide if Ridley was dead or not there.
And will we have space jump or another tank?
I think, yeah, tank. base jump is going to be in Upper Norfair somewhere.
I guess you're
these
right.
guys don't need it.
It could be a gauntlet, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, it could be a gauntlet.
I wouldn't check it anyway, though. I mean, neither one of these guys are going to go there after this late.
Sloaters is making a beeline to Torian right now. Sloaters has no idea the cross product died, and if I'm either one of these racers, or if I'm Sloaters at this point in time, I just get it done, right? Because cross product is a good enough racer that you don't want to take a chance. You just go, you do what you need to do.
I agree, and on top of that, Sloaters. I don't think Sloaters is super worried, but at the same time, some of his play makes me think he is being a little more aggressive because he probably doesn't feel great about the fact that he checked Shack Tool and Plasma and whiffed. So he knows that there are scenarios out there that Cross, did something that was faster.
Yep.
But as we both know here watching, he doesn't have that information. So.
Yeah. We have all the information, but Sloaters does not. So I think at this point in time, Sloaters is just going to finish the game. There's no point in dawdling, and Cross Product is just doing whatever Cross Product wants to do. Right. Fantoon here, so we'll see a nice Fantoon kill out of Cross. See, the other thing would be interesting to see kind of what Cross Product wants to go and check here in Fantoon. Let's see.
Sloaters will finish with a very, very comfortable sub-hour time here. I'm going to assume it's going to be in the ballpark of, I don't know, let's go with...
I usually plus
56.
12 I plus 12 for Torian, but...
That's a good call. I'm going to say 56 or 57.
Yeah, but yeah, that's because he's already well into that plus 12, so...
He could be lower, though. I mean, he's got the full beam combo. It just depends on how Torian goes.
Yeah, for a higher quality runner than myself, plus 12 is...
Do you know where this music is from? This boss music for Cross? I don't recognize it.
I have no idea. Maybe somebody in chat can tell us.
I'm just gonna randomly select. Sounds like music that you would hear in Joe and Mac or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea what's going on with Cross's music. All right, not a terrible Fantoon there for Cross Product. Did miss that one super there on his last Doppler, so he had to go through the round again, but that's not... Sometimes that just happens because Fantoon is awful.
I need to ask Cross exactly how he got all of the music that he wanted. I understand roughly how it works, but how he managed to mix it all to sound so good with the game sounds. Because when I tried, I had trouble getting it all to work, and I guess I can go ahead and say this because I was working on it 2 months ago. I was trying to work out a pack for Final Fantasy IV. It was going to be all Final Fantasy IV music, but I could never get it to work correctly. So I got to find somebody that knows how to do this stuff and get them to help me.
Yeah, Cross might be the guy.
I guess so, because his always sounds super crisp.
Yeah, it could be the auto file that he has, and it could be the mixer that he's using. Cross Product actually checking stuff here in the rec shop. Miners, no doubt, no less.
He checked the miner and then skipped it when it was a super, so I guess the only thing he wanted was a power bomb?
Yeah, did he end up actually picking up that charge beam?
He did.
Okay, so then I don't think he cares too much about the supers. Although at 25 supers would be better DPS against Ridley, given that he only has Ice Wave charge. Sorry, we don't have charge marked on our tracker there. This is so far a very clean Torian for Sloaters. There's that Plasma Beam for Cross. We'll give him a full beam combo.
Oh, so he did get charged. Then he reset it charged the first time. Then he picked it up the second time. He reset again, so he still doesn't have charge.
He reset again? Really?
Holy moly!
Oh man.
This has been a strange game for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it all started with that X-ray check and that Cross didn't realize he had grapple.
And Sloater's knocking out that baby skip. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah, really nicely done there. We're going to see him straight over to Mother Brain with Ice Beam. Probably seeing an Ice Beam clip. I think it's just faster by a lot.
All right, looks like he's trying to set up for the down gap. Oh, never mind. He's going to GT Classic it up.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that was recently discovered as being the fastest method for GT Classic. You ammo down the first Zeb, do I think it's a spring ball Zeb skip on the second one. And then the way it works, in case anybody out there doesn't know, is the next Zeb will only be created if the previous one was destroyed. So as you saw, he destroyed the first one, the second one was there, but once he skipped the second one, it didn't kill it, the third and fourth one didn't show up.
I gotta learn that skip then.
Yeah, it looks cool. I haven't sat down and learned it myself either, but definitely cool.
I love me some GT Classic.
It's a fantastic category.
Oh yeah.
So Sloaters is done here. He's just gonna chill, wait for the cutscene to end, and
yeah. Meanwhile, oh sorry.
No, go right ahead.
As I said, meanwhile, crossproduct coming in here to bowling, gonna get that speed booster. So yeah, we're probably looking about that 56, 57 here, maybe. Yeah, for Sloaters. That's a really good time.
Yeah, looking like a I'm going to go with 55 now that I see where he is. I think he can get out of here before 56 comes.
Okay. I don't know. Late 52. I didn't want to jinx him.
It really just depends, and I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm being serious. It just depends on how many times he's willing to try for the blue bomber.
Yeah.
Because if he wants to go for it and he misses and he tries a few times, it could cost some time. But otherwise, I think he should be out of here. I think he's going to get out of here before 56 hits.
Yeah. That'd be a spectacular run.
Full clearing Maridia, also getting the item at Waterway and getting, a 55 or whatever is like crazy.
Yeah, it is a spectacular run. It just goes to show what we said at the beginning of this race. These guys are good.
Very, very good. I don't know if we mentioned it yet, but we do need to make a point. Sloaters went 7-2 in the season, but lost two very interesting races to very good players. And I think he's like the 13 seed or something like that for the playoffs. But he's everybody's, for the most part, favorite to win the tournament, the playoffs, because that's more people picked him in the predictions than anybody else. He's last season's champion, so it would make perfect sense for him to be posting sick times like this. He's a fantastic player.
And there's that blue bomber right there. First try. Very nicely done. That is such a fantastic trick.
Yeah, that's a great one right there. And it's not just swag. If you do it correctly, it's faster than going through the crash animation of the spark.
It is. You're right. It is faster than that crash animation. Nice behemoth spark. I like how that leaves you above the platform right there.
Yeah, he's going to have a comfortable 55 here. Luckily for him, he won't have to get people to frame count his run at the end here to make sure it was a 55. And GG to Sloaty, finishing with an official SRL time of, what do we got, sir?
Let me see. Oh, 55-45. There you go. There was a couple messages after that. So 55 minutes and 45 seconds in SRL. So good job to Sloaters. Cross product has just... He has not quit yet. But they are chatting. So...
Yeah, you're not forced to forfeit if you don't want to, but the gentlemanly thing to do in these kind of scenarios where you're doing multiple races in a row is kind of just to, if you're not close, then just kind of, call it. And it looks like Cross has forfeited, which I think is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So we'll give them a break. Sir, do you want us to take a couple minutes to take a break as well, and then we'll be right back with the Chozo?
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Is we'll take 5 and come back and rock the second race of Crossproduct versus Sloaters, and we'll see what happens.